Greetings, YouTubers. This is Master Fix-It. Here we have a 2009 Honda Accord 3.5 VTEC engine VCM. I'm going to be changing the oil on this car. It has 94,000 miles. What is it? 10 years old. This pretty much applies to all 3.5 motors, 8th edition, which is usually on your Oddessy, your Pilot, your Accord, your Acura, some of your Acuras. So book says 4.5 quarts. I usually put in about 4.25 quarts because I like to leave the dipstick like at 7/8, just an eighth below full mark. Okay. So my reason is that if it's I know the engineers had said, you know, they do their engineering work and so forth, but my philosophy is if it's a little less pressure on the, if you add a little less oil, there'll be a little less pressure on the seals, O-rings, gaskets, etc. So that's my philosophy, and it's worked for the last 20 years. On the Corolla, we've had that one already, I think, what, for 10 years maybe it was. Had no oil leaks. I did have a valve cover gasket leak, but I've had no other leaks other than that valve cover, and that one's going strong, still no leaks. Anyhow, so that's my reasoning behind leaving it 7/8 full on the dipstick. So here we go. I am moving this. I am changing the oil to full synthetic 530. I've done some research on the VCM here. They seem to be burning some oil because the oil is seeping through. When the VCM shuts off a couple cylinders, you know, to save gas and money, the oil sits on top and starts to seep through the rings. So I said, well, why not just move it up a grade to 30, make that oil a little thicker so it doesn't slip down those rings. So I'm going to try it. If I have no problems, I'll stick with the 30, and especially if I'm not burning more oil than I used to. So anyhow, that's my reason with going with the 530. Next, I'll be going with Napa Gold filter, like I did with the previous video on the Corolla. I've done the research on that, and I think that's probably the best filter for the money. It's, you know, $8 to $10 depending where you're at, where you're located at, and what Napa store you go to. I think it's better than the Honda, and it's better than the Toyota, so that's the filter I'm going to be going with from now on. I usually let the filter go, like on the Corolla. I don't change out the filter every 10,000 miles, and the oil is still golden, so I only change out the oil. So as you're looking at this video, you probably seen other videos as well how to change the oil. So the oil filter is down over here on the passenger side. You will have to jack up the car, remove the passenger wheel, and you'll be able to see the filter there as soon as you remove the wheel. It's don't let the steak bite you because it's right there. Anyhow, so again, I will fill this car up to 4.25 quarts. It requires 4.5 quarts with filter. Don't forget to put a little oil. At least fill up that filter about halfway before you install it back into its harness. And that's about it for SuperTech. Save some time, save some money, and enjoy. Smash up them likes and subscribe.